And anybody that jumps on, we will welcome them in, even if they're a bit late. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. For those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Erin O'Brien. I am a Thermomix consultant and team leader based in Druin in Victoria. But obviously, thanks to this wonderful virtual world, I'm able to sell and support my customers all over Australia, so which is really cool. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight, I just thought I'd bring you a nice, quick, fun virtual making some chicken gyros, some tzatziki, and some flatbreads. Show you how quick and easy that is to do using the TM6. And we have some amazing deals running at the moment. So I thought this is a great opportunity to show those of you who might not have the opportunity to host your own demo between now and that finishing. So we will get started. I'd love you to pop in the chat box where you are watching from tonight. Perhaps if you have a Thermomix, what model do you have? And I'm just trying to bring up the chat box for you. I can't even see it there. There we go. And what you're hoping to get out of tonight, sorry. If you already have a Thermomix, you're looking for some new ideas and inspiration, picking up some hints and tips, let me know in the chat box what has brought you along. So I'm Erin. I first joined, I've been a Thermomix owner for probably over 7 years now. I first bought the TM5 actually, the model before this one. Before I had my first child, it was just something that I thought I wanted, and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it, and was using it flat out. One day, my husband said to me, "Did you want to upgrade?" And I was like, "No, I don't need to. I've got the 5. I love it. It works perfectly." And then I started researching the TM6 and decided that I needed it. It looked amazing, but I didn't really want to pay for it. So I decided to join up and earn a TM6 with the intention that I would only earn my Thermomix and then take my free machine and leave. And that was about 3.5 years ago. So it's a bit, obviously, I'm still here. I just loved it. I loved sharing the Thermomix with everybody. I loved, they're helping people. That sounds really cliche, but helping people change their lives with a Thermomix. And so here I am. I'm now a team leader, and I absolutely love helping my team of consultants, make the most of their Thermomix little business as well. So that is a little bit about me. The TM6 itself, what is it? It is a smart connected cooking appliance. That means it connects into your Wi-Fi and gives you guided cooking through Cookiedoo, our virtual recipe platform on the screen of your Thermomix. Cookiedoo gives you access to what is now over 90,000 recipes from all over the world, which is really cool. So as this is an open virtual tonight, I have picked our menu. But obviously, if at any stage you wanted to host your own demo, you wanted to see some specific things, learn more, that kind of thing, you can absolutely host your own virtual in-home demo and pick your own menu and pick up a host reward with that as well. So I would love to know, perhaps pop it in the chat box if you don't mind, when it comes to food and cooking, what is the most important thing to you and your family? So probably can't see it super well on there, but there is some ideas. So healthy, simple, fast, creative, saving money. Pop it in the chat box and let me know what is the most important thing to you. For me, it's definitely fast and healthy. So I have a young family. I have 5 little ones, and so life can be a little bit hectic. So I do like to have the quickest meals possible. And Kylie is very similar to me. We need them on the table quickly with as little hands-on time as possible, don't we? I don't know if you saw my stories tonight, but I had a little one at my feet for half a night trying to cook. So being able to pop it on and then play with her is an absolute game changer. But that, and I love to know exactly what is in the food that I'm cooking for my kids as well. So if you haven't already, please pop it in the chat box and let me know what is important to you. So the TM6 is an all-inclusive price of $2,579 and it includes everything you see here. So obviously the Thermomix itself, your bowl, blade and lid set, your aroma, which is your steaming attachment, your hard copy of your basic cookbook, your spatula, butterfly whisk, measuring cup, your splash guard, which we are going to use for the high heat mode tonight, your simmering basket, and also 6 months free subscription to Cookidoo, that virtual recipe platform. So there are a few different ways that you can get a TM6 in your kitchen if it's something you are interested in. My favourite one is to do what I did and earn one, but we also have a 24 months interest free through Zip, but we'll go into all that in a bit more detail a bit later. We are going to get cooking. So, like I said tonight, obviously, because I picked our menu, we are just going, there are so many different modes and functions of the TM6, but we will just be able to see a couple of these things. If there is something in particular that you want to see, you want to learn more about, please reach out. We can absolutely tailor a demo to suit you and what you want to see, your learning needs, that kind of thing. So I'm going to switch over to my other screen. And please, guys, as I'm cooking away and talking away, if you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. Just pop in the chat box. If I don't answer them straight away, I'll get back to them during cooking time and that kind of thing. So please just pop them in there and we can do that. So I'm going to head on over to my Thermomix. And so what you see here is obviously just our home screen, our basic settings of our TM6. So we've got our time, our temperature, and our speed. So this is similar to the TM5, if you did have one of those. They're the basic settings are all exactly the same. If we swipe across to the right, we bring up all of our different modes and functions. So these are, if you're cooking like we will be tonight, a Cookidoo recipe, a guided cooking recipe, it will automatically select your mode for you. So you might see some of the different symbols come up in your recipe, but they are here as well in case you wanted to cook anything manually. So obviously there are thousands and thousands of recipes all over the internet that you can cook that aren't on Cookidoo, and you can just plug in the settings yourself and do them. So all of the modes, or most of the modes, are there to do so if you would like to. If I swipe back the other way, we bring up Cookidoo, which is that virtual recipe platform. So this looks exactly like it would on your app on your phone or your computer. It's all integrated when you're logged in. And yeah, it looks exactly the same. So you've got your search bar, you've got your new recipes, some features, and that kind of thing. But we are going to go into the three little bars in the top left-hand corner, and I have meal planned out. Again, one of the features of Cookidoo is our meal planning feature. So if I go into my week, I have already planned out what we are cooking tonight. So you'll see my potato bake. We had a lovely roast lamb for dinner tonight. So I did a potato bake and some steamed veggies with that, which was delicious. But we are going to do the gyros with the flatbread. So we're going to do the flatbread quickly first. So once you click into the recipe, you can scroll down and read the whole recipe if you wanted to. You can check the hints and tips. One of the newer features of Cookidoo, because it's a virtual platform and it's kind of a bit like your mobile phone. There's new updates and new things coming out all the time. So one of the newer features is recipe scaling. So you might be able to see, hopefully you can see it on here. The serving size is now clickable. Link kind of, I suppose. And you can adjust the serving size to suit you and your family if you wanted to. So I'm just going to cancel that. But otherwise, I'm going to hit start cooking. So into our bowl, we are going to place 350 grams of bread flour. Already made a mess. Next, and then 250 grams of plain yogurt. I'll just put that out in the fridge. Like I said, guys, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat box and I'll answer them as we go. Anyone made the flatbreads before? Those of you with a Thermomix? So I'm actually just using sour cream for this because it works exactly the same. And the Tzatziki uses yogurt too, and I don't think I would have enough for both. But the groceries coming tomorrow morning. So you can use either one. And then we're going to hit next again, and then a teaspoon of baking powder. You've made the flatbreads. Yeah, they are so easy, aren't they? So much easier than you might think. And this recipe is super quick because it doesn't even have any, because it's a flatbread, it's a little bit more dense. It doesn't have the yeast and then the proofing time either. So it's super, super quick. And then a teaspoon of salt. So we're just pressing next all the time in the top right-hand corner there. We love homemade wraps in our house. Oops, half a teaspoon of sugar. Stop talking, Erin. The kids absolutely love them, which is great as well. So now we've just got it set for us because we're in guided cooking. It's going to tell us exactly what to do. 15 seconds, and down the bottom it's telling us to turn the speed selector to 6. Next again. So that's just combined all that up for us there. I'll just show you quickly how that's combined. So it's just telling us just to scrape the sides, just get any of the extra flour back into the mixture there. Pin the lid back on. And now I've got 1 minute, and the wheat symbol is our kneading mode. So that is just going to knead away there for a minute. There. So 2 minutes of kneading in Thermomix is equivalent to about 20 minutes of hand kneading. So I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely do not have the time or the energy for hand kneading anything. So obviously our Thermomix can do that for us, and we are free to do anything and everything else. You guys making many breads and doughs with your Thermomix or without? Put the chat box and let me know. We make lots of different things. We make rolls, pizza doughs, lots of different things for the kids' lunch boxes, scrolls, like mini hot dogs, cheese and bacon rolls, all those kind of things. That are great money savers as well. All right. So now it's just telling us to tip the dough out onto a lightly floured surface and bring together. And then it's going to tell us to divide it into 8 pieces and then roll them out. We are going to roll them out a little bit later during our cooking stage. Use our time most efficiently. So I've just got our bread mat here. These are a silicone mat that is available from Mix Shop or available as a host reward. So you can get them if you're hosting in-home or virtual demo. You can get this one with the oven mat as well. So you just bring it together into a bowl. And they're amazing. If you're going to make breads and doughs and things, you need a bread mat. It lasts nothing. They just don't stick. It's so perfect. And then you don't make a big mess of your bench flouring as well. So that is our ball of dough. And I'm just going to wrap that in our bread mat as well. So it's really pliable, which is awesome. And just pop it aside, and we'll continue cooking, and then we will roll them out shortly. I've got my Thermomix on a glider board as well, if you're wondering there. It just makes it super easy to move it around without having to worry about potentially damaging the scales, which are the back. All right, so from here, straighten you up a bit there. We can keep on nexting through our recipe, or we can go to our 3 little dots next to that and hit cancel recipe, because we're going to start something else now. So it's just confirming that that is what we'd like to do, and we're going to say yes. That'll take us back to our home screen. So I'm just going to grab my bowl. So you may or may not have seen that we do have our incredible $29 second bowl offer running at the moment. It is our most popular offer with very good reason. The second bowl is the biggest game changer with your Thermomix. It's as close as you can get to having 2 Thermomixes and makes your life so much easier. Just like things like this where you can do a quick switch is fantastic. So now we're going to start, we're going to continue on by doing our chicken gyros with tzatziki. So again, scroll down if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to hit start cooking. The first step in this recipe is actually just combining some spices and herbs to create this gyros spice mix. So I have already done that. So as you can see, it just says place all spice mix ingredients into a sealable container. Paprika, cumin, garlic powder, dried parsley, cinnamon, and salt. So they're all in there. And then stir to combine and set aside. So I just use a jar because then you can just pop the lid on and give it a shake. I find that nice and easy. But into there next, we are going to place one garlic clove. So just a whole clove. Next, and pop the lid on. Next again, 5 seconds on speed 7. Yeah, it really is so beneficial, Kylie. And I think, if you speak to most Thermomix owners, those with a second bowl will tell you to wait for a second bowl deal. Those without it say they wish they had it. It is so beneficial. And they are $3.95 from the mix shop. So, am I doing? Stop talking again, Erin. Too much talking. So for $29, it's an incredible offer. So it's just telling us to scrape down the sides there. I actually don't even know how I would live without a second bowl now. Once you get used to it, it's hard to go back, I think. So then 100 grams of cucumber, just cut into pieces and de-seeded. I'm trying to show you there, but the phone's a bit close. So just roughly chopped. I've gone a little bit over, but I just use the whole cucumber rather than wasting any. So always remember, guided cooking is just a guide. You can change it around to suit you, add more or less. You could chop things more as well if you wanted to, like especially with young kids, if you want to hide your veggies and that kind of thing, you can do so very easily. So 5 seconds on speed 6. All right. And then you are going to see that roughly chopped cucumber is now finely chopped in 5 seconds. So that's just telling us to scrape that bowl down again. So when you're scraping it down, you're really just pushing anything that's kind of flicked up the sides of the bowl back down towards the blade down the bottom. And into there now we are going to place, I'm done with my yogurt, 250 grams of Greek yogurt. I managed to make such a big mess of these virtuals. I hope you guys appreciate me messing up my kitchen instead of yours. There. I'm on fire tonight. All right, so we do have a little bit under, but that's again completely fine. And then we're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Some dried dill. I don't have that, so I'm just going to skip on past it. Again, guided cooking. Don't. So there's ingredients that you never think you'll use again. You can leave them out or substitute them. I'm always on Google checking for what's a good substitution for different things. 10 seconds, speed 3. And there is our tzatziki done. So just going to move that across to the side. So quick and easy. And obviously, we're going to use it like almost like a dressing for our gyros, but I'm just going to bring that closer up here because otherwise I'm going to make a big mess. But it is just like a normal tzatziki dip. So, you can use what's left over with some crackers. You could cut your flatbread up if you had some left over and enjoy it another night as well. Dips and things are so quick and easy to make with your Thermomix. And it's such a big money saver to you, as you'll see. They always make quite a lot and would probably cost us, when you're looking at it, one of the good quality chunky dips from the supermarket, $4+. We've just made that for much less. So that's a big bowl of tzatziki ready for our gyros shortly. So I am going to do another quick bowl swap. I'm very lucky as a consultant to earn lots of amazing things in my time. I've earned a couple of Thermomixes and plenty of bowls and lots of other great things. So I'm very lucky when it comes to these virtuals and everything else that I have. Actually, I'm running in my kitchen. I have got 2 thermos and 4 bowls, which is amazing for me. But I'm just going to clean that mess up quickly. It does make it nice and easy to switch between the two, all of them. So here is another fresh bowl ready to continue on. So it says clean and dry the mixing bowl, but obviously if you have a second bowl, you can just do a switch there instead. Save yourself a few minutes. Now it is telling us to pop a bowl on top of the mixing bowl lid. So you can just take your measuring cup off. I'll just move it back so you can see it a bit better. And then we're just going to use the scales by popping a bowl on the top. So you can access the scales by putting something on the top, as you can see there. So it's telling us to pop in 500 grams of chicken breast. I have actually got chicken breast in there already, just so I wasn't going to create extra dishes. But you would, just pop that in there and measure it out. And then 30 grams of that spice mix that we've already made. So your scales on your TM6 are accurate to 1 gram. The model before this one, the TM5, they were 5 grams. So it really does make for a lot more accurate cooking when you are doing certain things. It's going to be and then 40 grams of olive oil. And you're just watching your scales go up on the side there. And then it's just telling us to stir and combine that. I'll just quickly do that again off screen so I don't spill it everywhere. All right, then we're going to hit next again. And into our bowl now, we are going to place 60 grams of brown onions. So much better. I can't find what I'm looking for. I actually used my last brown onion with my dinner tonight, so I'm just using red. I think that'll work just fine for this. And then some more olive oil. I tend to, it's just personal preference on this, but I tend to find that a lot of the cookie dough recipes I feel like are a bit too oily for my personal liking, so I always just cut it back a little bit. But yeah, 100% personal preference on that one. Popping the lid back on, and this time we're going to put our simmering basket on the top. Next again, and now we're just going to cook that for 2 minutes, 120 degrees, and speed 1. And you might see down the bottom there, I'm not sure how clearly you can see it on the screen, but there is a little reverse symbol there. So what that means is our blades are running in reverse at the moment. Our blades on our in our bowl are sharp on one side and blunt on the other. So that means that obviously when they're running normally, they are chopping or mincing or whatever, depending on the speed you've got set. But when we're running them in reverse, they're just stirring. They're not going to chop up or mince up or do anything else. So, our onion that we've got in there now is going, excuse me, to cook and stay intact, which is nice. So I had 120 degrees is like our saute temperature. So we're just kind of, giving those onions a bit of a brown, a bit of a saute. Well, we are hands-free to do anything else. Any questions so far, guys? I'll try and do it. Anyone made this recipe before, the gyros? There's a couple of different versions of it on Cookidoo. There's a pork one as well, which they're essentially very similar, just with different proteins. The pork is amazing too, and this one is delicious. So easy. A nice quick midweek meal. And you can make your flatbreads or different things ahead of time. If you really, struck for time on a midweek, you could just buy flatbreads too, absolutely. And then, with this kind of high heat, quick recipe of the gyros, you would find that, you have tea on the table in well under half an hour, probably closer to 20 minutes, I'd say. And obviously you could make your tzatziki ahead too, so you could make that the night before when you had a bit of extra time and just pop it in the fridge. So into there now we are going to pop 250 grams of our chicken. So we're just going to cook it half at a time, essentially. Just because the heat works for me. We're using, I'll just put it on and then I'll talk. We're going to put, it's just prompting us to pop our splash guard on the top as well. And we're using our high heat mode, so your splash guard is an extra safety mechanism for that. So we do half at a time, just because that when you're using the high heat mode, the high temperatures of it come from the surface area of the base of the bowl. So because we want to really brown that chicken with the seasoning on it, if we had too much in there, it all wouldn't get to the bottom. So just pop it in there in batches, and then obviously you've got time to do anything else while you're waiting. So our high heat mode is exclusive to the TM6. It goes 40 degrees hotter than the TM5, the previous model, and really kind of mimics the frying pan. So you won't be able to hear it because I have got my headphones in, but you might see the steam kind of come out the top, but it really starts to sizzle exactly like your meat would, or whatever your protein would in your frying pan. And then, sorry, the blades don't move. It heats up, it sizzles, and then occasionally you'll hear the blades move around. So it's really just mimicking your frying pan, heating up, browning, and then an occasional stir. Except you are obviously not standing at the frying pan and you're free to do anything else. I was just having a quick read. Carly, yeah, I absolutely do use mine every day. There might be a very occasional day where we go out for dinner or something like that, but I, on an average day, would probably use mine more than once. Yeah, when it comes to, this time of year, my kids love porridge for breakfast, so I would often put the porridge on. Just going to turn my frying pan on quickly. Put the porridge on before I have a shower in the morning, and then because obviously it's hands-free, I can walk away and go and have my shower, and then it's ready and cool down a little bit by the time the kids get up. And then, yeah, depending on what they're doing for kids' lunch boxes and stuff, I make muffins. And then, I would say 90% of the time I do the whole main meal for us, if not like tonight, part of it. I'm just trying to find what I do with my flatbread too. All right, so while that's going, I am going to roll out our flatbreads. So I'm just going to turn it very slightly there. So I've got our bread mat again, and we've got our dough. So again, like anything, make your flatbreads the size shape all of that you want. So it said 8, but if you want to do them bigger or smaller and get more or less, it's honestly so fine. I'm using my dough scraper. It's available from the mix shop, and I use that just to kind of cut it. You just can't use knives on your silicone bread mats because it will ruin them. So I find that the dough scraper is a perfect alternative for that. So otherwise, you're just going to roll out your flatbreads. You want to get them nice and thin if you can. And obviously, if you can, you want to get them roundish. But it really doesn't matter. Plastic's great. There are guides on the bread mat as well that you can use if you want to. I'm a much more just have a crack. Just get it done person. So I don't worry too much about the guides. So then, as you can see, so I haven't oiled or floured or anything in this bread mat, and they just peel straight off. And then I'm continue just a bit further, and I've got my frying pan heating up there, so I'm just going to pop that straight in there. So obviously, like a recipe like this is where hands-free time comes in handy so much, because we are not standing at the stove stirring that chicken or doing anything else. We are going to make the flatbreads at the same time. So dinner can be on the table much, much quicker. Other recipes, your hands-free time, you could be doing the washing, playing with the kids, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to roll them all out to start. I might do just for fun. Shape on that one. So you just want to give them, just keep an eye on them. These ones won't bubble up again because they don't have that yeast in them. So just keep an eye on them till they're brown, and then give them a flip, and then that's it. So we've got about 30 seconds left on that meat as well. I'm just gonna, we'll both be finished at the same time, Not quite brown. Ideally, I wasn't organised, but I would have preheated my frying pan better than what I did tonight. Kind of just turned it on and popped it on. I'm just going to turn you around so they don't make your motion sick there. So that is our first high heat done. So it's just telling us to transfer that into a thermal server bowl. So obviously our thermo servers are a super popular product that go with our Thermomix as well. I'm just going to so our thermo servers keep your food hot or cold for around 2 hours. So are perfect for things like this where you want to do it in batches. So that is our chicken, first lot of chicken done there. So I'm just going to transfer that into the thermo server. I'm just going to try and retain some of the juices in there, and then instead of adding more oil, I'll just leave the juices in, because the next step, like I said before, adds extra oil, which I don't personally think will like. And you'll see, I'm going to show you again, there is some browning on the bottom of the bowl. So that's how hot the high heat mode of the TN6 gets. So it's really browning properly, like your frying pan would. don't need to stress about it because you've got a pre-clean function on your TM6 as well, which will clean that off perfectly afterwards for you. So into there now we are going to put the rest of the chicken. Just going to make sure that is spread around the base so it all cooks evenly. So again, that 20 grams of extra olive oil, I'm going to skip that. Popping the lid on. And another lot. I'll turn you quickly because I just flipped one more time. Sorry, flipped our flatbread while we're doing that so it didn't burn. So that's kind of nice and browned and ready there. Pop the other one on. And now we're essentially done with our hands-free, like hands-on cooking time. I'm just going to wrap the rest of that dough up and then I'll finish my flip chart while that's cooking and then we'll be all done. So again, you can just wrap your dough up. You can, any breads and doughs and things, you can pop in your fridge or your freezer too. So if you've made even like a pizza dough or something and you feel like it's too much for your family for that night or you're just not going to use it or you pop it, just wrap it up and pop it in the fridge or the freezer. All you need to do is bring it back to room temperature before you continue working with it and it will be perfect. All right, so I'm going to quickly come back over to the other screen. So you can see on the Thermomix now, just from a bad angle there of the splash guard, the steam coming up behind the splash guard handle there. So that is, from that high heat. If you could hear it now, you would hear the sizzle from heating up as well. Put my flatbread off. All right, so like I have said a couple of times, if there is something that you want to learn more about to help you get the most out of Thermomix or to decide whether it's for you, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do a virtual with more specific menu to suit you at any stage as well. So we've talked about Cookie a bit tonight. That is that virtual recipe platform. So it is a subscription. You can sign up if you are thinking about getting a Thermomix, but you want to kind of learn more, see more before you make a decision. You can sign up at any stage and do a 30-day free trial. Have a bit of a play. Cookie allows you to create kind of, we call them collections, but they're essentially recipe folders of all different things. So, like I have one that's like main meals, kids snacks, all those kind of things. So you can make your own collections. You can do some meal planning. You can do your shopping. It is integrated with Woolworths online. So you can do your meal plan, then your shopping list and order online all from Cookie. So you can have a little bit of play with that with a 30-day free trial. And then when you do purchase a TM6, you do get 6 months free with your Thermomix. After that, it is $69 a year, which works out to be less than $1.33 a week. And it includes, all of those, what are now over 90,000 recipes. When I first started, it was up to about 60,000. So they are being added to all the time. They're all triple tested recipes as well, which is great to know that they are going to work every time. And you do get any software updates or new modes that are brought out with your Cookie subscription as well. So you might have seen recently the cutter, there's a new chop mode, all those kind of things. They're all new, and when you have an active Cookie subscription, they are automatically downloaded to your machine. It's just the thing that keeps getting better with age. Doesn't happen very often, does it, with technology? So yeah, like I've said, we've spoken about this a few times already, but if you would like to host your own demo, whether it be virtual or in home, please reach out. I would love to help you with that. We can cater it to your likes, your dislikes, allergies, intolerance, all of those things. And you can pick up a host reward at the same time. So you can also host as many cooking experiences as you want. I very much understand that Thermomix is a big investment. So I am very passionate about making sure that you get the most out of your investment. So if that means demo after demo to really learn and get the most out of it, I'm absolutely okay with that. yeah, I want you loving it and getting the most out of it, like I do. So have a little think about who in your network might be interested in seeing the Thermomix in action. It's completely okay if they already have one. They might find some new ideas and inspiration as well. Um, yeah. So when you purchase your Thermomix, you essentially get me with it as your consultant. So I'm here to help you with whatever you need. So I know support for all different people looks very different, but I am here to help you get the most out of it as much as I do. So, from kind of getting it delivered and unboxing and unpacking it and getting set up to having as many demos as you need to get the most out of it, we are here to help. So my team and I also run monthly cooking classes as well, which you are always very welcome to join us at. We try and change up the theme and cook something new and try and share all of our hints, tips, and inspiration with you. So all these different ways to, hopefully support you and help you get the most out of your investment. Sorry, thinking back to the things we talked about at the start, obviously, we've just seen a snippet of the Thermomix tonight, but if you do have one already, those of you on that do, or if you are thinking about getting one, do you think from what you've seen tonight, it could potentially help you with these things? Could it help you cook a little healthier, save time in the kitchen, save money? If you're happy to pop it in the chat box and let me know, or if you've got any more questions about those things that I could answer, please also pop in the chat box and let me know. I'm always very happy to help where I can. So that, like we said earlier, the Thermomix is an all-inclusive price of $2,579. There are a few different ways to get one in your kitchen. You can join my team and earn and learn at the same time. You earn your Thermomix after you pop down a deposit, do a bit of training online and with me, and then start earning your Thermomix and learning at the same time. You really do, it pushes you to get the most out of it, learn all the hints and tips, and be a part of what I think is a really amazing team. Then we do have 24 months interest-free running through Zip Money. We do have a which is another finance option, which has just recently commenced. We have Easy 3, which is like a take-home lay-by. So you pay down a deposit, you pay down $1,029 on your day of order, then 830 days later, and the final 830 days later. But you get your Thermomix after your first payment. We do have Afterpay as well, and then a one-off payment option. So the average family can save up to around $40 to $60 off their weekly grocery bill, TM6 in their kitchen. So if you think about things that you are buying now that you could potentially make with a Thermomix, perhaps things like yogurts, snacks for the kids, even just saving on takeaway on those busy nights that you could have dinner done, by the way. I'm just going to keep talking for a minute. Dinner done in, well on the table in under half an hour with lots of hands-free time. So think about, the savings that you could potentially make. So that is pretty much us covered for tonight. I would just like to quickly cover a couple of deals that we have running at the moment. So we do have, like I've mentioned, our $29 second bowl offer running. So that is a second bowl worth $395 for only $29 when you purchase your TM6. We do have TM5 Trader as well, which is the model before this one. So if you do own a TM5, you are able to receive a $300 kind of like a loyalty discount really off the TM6, a free second bowl, and you get to keep your machine. So you can kind of, I suppose, gift it to someone else, keep it as a second machine, or even sell it if you wanted to put towards your new TM6. So that is a really exciting offer. It's the first time we've offered the ability to keep your TM5 when you upgrade, which is super exciting, I think. And we also do have our half-price business kit offer running at the moment too. So if joining the team and, earning a Thermomix, or even if you already have one and you want to kind of share the love and earn some extra income and incentives as well, now is a great time with our half-price business kit. So if you would like any information on any of those offers or anything else, please let me know. I would love to help you. But otherwise, we will just finish up with dinner. I'm going to go back over to the other camera. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box. I'm more than happy to keep answering as we go. So that is finished. So we are going to add the cooked chicken. So the stuff that we already have done. Tilt that, it'll probably steam that at the camera. But you can see there. The cooked stuff that we popped in the thermo server before back in. And we're going to give it a quick little shred just to pop on our flatbreads. So it's already got it set for us again, 3 seconds, and now it's got reverse. So reverse is the best way to shred meat rather than give it a chop, essentially. And it's just telling us to turn the speed selector to 2. Just going to do that again. So the blades took too long to get started there. You can see down the bottom it says prolong by 2 seconds if necessary. Just going to have a look. I think that, yeah, we can definitely do that. Oops, gone too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that up to 5 seconds. So you just need to select the one you're going to change and then use your dial to change it. And then it's got reverse again and 2. All right, so just what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't know, but I should be able to, there we go. How good does that look? It's delicious. I wish you could smell it as well. That's the only problem with Zoom, isn't it? That I'm the only one that can smell how good this smells. I'm just going to pop that in my thermo server. Bear with me for 2 seconds, making motions again there. All right, so obviously I didn't cook all of our flatbreads because I didn't think you'd be super excited about sitting around and watching that. No worries, Alice. Thanks so much for jumping on. Always appreciate your support. So we have got our flatbreads, our chicken gyros mixture, and our tzatziki all done. Well, for tonight it was well under an hour with all my talking as well. But if you were doing this at home, this would be definitely an under half an hour dish. That is for sure. So all you want to do is, you could serve this with a little Greek salad as well if you wanted to. That would be nice. Completely up to you, but it is delicious on its own as well. So it's just telling you, it says on your Thermomix as well. It does walk you through those last couple of steps. To serve, top pita with chicken gyros and fresh dill, drizzle with tzatziki and roll up to eat. And that is it. So that is our flatbreads with our chicken gyros and our tzatziki. How good does that look? That is dinner for tomorrow night for us, sorted. So like I said, I'll pop the rest of that dough in the fridge and then I'll make them fresh tomorrow. But otherwise, all done. If you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to pop them in the chat box, or you can come off mute and have a chat if you want to. If you want to stay back and ask questions, yeah, anything at all, please just let me know. I hope that has been helpful for you tonight. If you've got any questions, please sing out. I will touch base with you tomorrow and see if I can help with anything or answer any more questions. But sorry, I should have brought that back to my face. But otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for joining on. I hope it's been helpful and I hope you've learned something new. Thank you. Thanks, Kylie.